I didn't get a chance to grab pizza. I was too busy preparing for the show.
I was eating.
And Bartle decided to eat.
True show, buddy.
Does anybody work as hard as you? It's unbelievable.
It's tough. Maybe Bartle. Maybe you.
You're phenomenal. You're phenomenal.
Just pumping the tires here on this Coach's Corner segment. He knows he has to spend 4 days with me coming up, so he needs Holtby in a good mood.
Back of his head, he's not looking forward to it.
It's a little, it's a little scary. It's
Yeah.
a little scary.
At least he's in a different room. He can kind of just ship me off with Murph and say, deal with him.
I hope those shuttles are on time because we know who's in trouble.
Hashtag blame Holtby.
Yeah,
Yes.
Who scheduled those?
Who scheduled those
Who
shuttles?
scheduled those shuttles anyway?
Who's
right?
in charge of that
That's
thing?
right.
I hope we're leaving out of LAX. I mean,
Ooh.
I hope so.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
We
Don't
definitely
worry.
are. All right. Just making sure we're going for the same airport. Welcome back inside the Dignity Health Studios. Ryan Holt, Kevin Bartle, and the well-dressed man in between us. Condors head coach Troy Mann. We are in Coach's Corner. We'll break down some video in just a bit. But, Coach, we've already kind of talked a little bit about Alaska. Your first trip up to Anchorage, up to Alaska. I mean, it's a weird spot to go. It's not a place that a lot of people get to visit. So what are your thoughts about going up to Anchorage and seeing Alaska for the first time?
Well, quite frankly, I haven't really put too much thought into it. I've been just so worried about, get this team back on track to get some dubs on the board here. And, certainly I've heard a lot about their ice and the size of the ice surface. So, we'll break down the actual team, on the plane tomorrow, 6 hours. So lots of time to break them down and kind of evaluate that as Friday morning approaches.
Make sure the battery's charged on the computer.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
If the batteries aren't charged, that's a blame Murph situation.
I hope my seat has the little window in front so I can watch movies. Is that possible?
I don't
is
think
is that a Bartle thing?
That would be a Bartle thing.
So we'll see.
That would be a Bartle thing.
I'll get right on that.
And if you're seated in between two players, we can get you on the aisle. That's a whole thing.
I have to. I'll be going to the bathroom.
All right.
6 trips to the bathroom, 6-hour flight.
TMI,
there
Coach.
we go.
TMI.
Get Coach on the aisle.
What did you take out of last weekend's games? I mean, I like that the team didn't quit and they came out in the third period. And I'd like to see that sense of desperation that was there, especially on Friday. I'd like to see that early.
Yeah, certainly last weekend was a little bit concerning. I liked our first weekend, even though we didn't pick up the wins. We played a well-structured game. And there's probably several reasons maybe for last weekend. Adding 4 players, in hindsight's 2020, you want to improve your team over the long haul. Hopefully that does that. It seemed to upset the team chemistry a little bit, and I'm just being honest. There's at times we looked at a sink on the weekend, but then we did some really good things. I thought in talking to some people that watched the game, I talked to the Florida coach, I talked to the Florida GM. Really liked our forecheck, really liked our D in terms of how they were active. So we did some good things. Liked our start. But quite frankly, we got to get better goaltending, and we just can't play that way and not get key saves. And unfortunately, both guys had a rough weekend. But this weekend's a new week.
Is it tough for that to kind of happen at the beginning of a season, or would you rather get it out of the way now? Because, as a coach, especially at this level, do you kind of become clouded a little bit and thinking, well, the goaltending wasn't great this past weekend, but that's going to happen over the course of a season.
Absolutely.
I'm right in the sense of, it could happen in December, you have an off weekend, and nobody thinks anything of it because you've already got some wins.
Right. No, 100%. And, the positive in me after training camp and having a pretty solid preseason, you're thinking, oh, geez, maybe we step out to a 4-0 run, go to Alaska. But realistically, we thought, I thought maybe 2-2. I knew the Ontario game and the Florida game would be really tough for us. So I'm thinking, okay, we get the home opener against Colorado. We maybe get a good win in Stockton, and we go to Alaska 2-2. But, that's not reality right now. And all we can worry about is the first 5 minutes of that hockey game Friday. And that's what I'm preparing the team for, is just to break the game down into small increments and worry about the first 5 minutes. And then we'll worry about the second 5 minutes after that expires, and that's the only way to approach it right now. Or at least that's how, as a coaching staff, we're approaching Friday night.
You mentioned some of the new faces coming in here, Coach, and I don't want to. I don't like to put onus on certain guys or call guys out or anything, but there are a lot of players, a few players, I should say, on this team that you were expecting to be offensive leaders. That the points haven't come around for these guys. They're not generating here early on, so it's kind of a little bit of both, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at our team coming in. I would have thought that defense was a concern with 4 rookies,
Right?
And our forward, we'd be very offensive and. Contrary to that, our defense I've been relatively happy with. Is there room for improvement? Absolutely. Blake Kessel, if he's here for the long term, he needs to get in better shape. He hasn't had a training camp since Des Moines, so he's been off, so he needs to be better. But our young guys have played well. Up front, we've got some high-powered resumes, so to speak, that we're going to need more here from, and it's going to have to start Friday night. They got to take ownership on this team and lead them in the right direction offensively and play the right way. And, this morning we had a 15-minute video session in terms of showing positive clips from the Florida game in terms of how we need to play to win hockey games. And we need to simplify our game. And it's my belief as a coach, when you play the right way, good things happen.
And we can show one of those positive clips. We caught it in the highlights, but we can just show it once again. The second goal from the game on Saturday, if we can roll it. And really, this is Troy Mann to a T. What you want?
Well, yeah, this is a great offensive play. We're on the puck, and then we get it to the point, and we got traffic. There's 2 guys in front there, along with 2 Florida guys, and all it is Cunningham getting the puck through. And I think it might have been double tipped. Garlick got credit for it, but it certainly looked like it hit Goalie on the way in. And we need more of that. We've seen a lot of that over the first 4 games from the Steffes line, which is great. But we need more of that from the other 2 lines, which are really our offensive lines. And you can see that. They roll into a 3 high. Tremblay pulls the guy up, and that's great work there. And, like I say, we've been preaching that since October 3rd in terms of the way the game is played nowadays. Everything is from the tops of circles in. So you need to get the puck from low to high, and the defense got to get the puck through, and you got to get traffic in front. And that's the only way to play. And we did a good job of that, and we want to see more of that.
That's what I want to say. Like, in practice, all you hear is low to high, low to high, low to high. And then you see it work in a game. And really, it's nice when you see it work in a game the way you draw it up in practice.
Well, the key to that play, I think, is Cunningham's shot getting through. He holds onto it just a second longer, and he waits for that lane. And that's been one of the team's biggest problems, I think, is some of their best scoring chances aren't finding the net at all.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's the defenseman's job is to, when we want to go low to high, is they got to find that right lane. It doesn't have to be a high-powered slap shot. That was just a simple wrist shot, but Cunningham had his head up. He finds the lane, and we have 2 forwards going to the net. Tremblay pulls one of their forwards out into a 3-high situation, and it's something from an offensive standpoint we've been preaching from since October 3rd. And it's just a matter of getting everybody on the same page to do that consistently, and we'll get our chances and we'll get our goals. But the goals, like I say, everybody plays this collapsed D zone system. It's been going on for 3-4 years now, and the only way to beat that is to move that puck up low to high, as I say, and make plays.
Last weekend, you mentioned the goaltending.
Again, there. I mean, if you look at this, they've got 5 guys below the tops of the circles there, and it was a 5-on-3, 3-on-5, really down low, and we were able to still make a play there, and that was because we were good down low, and we were able to make some plays there. But here, that's good stuff. Cunningham keeps the puck in, and a little pick there, and that's great work. And we worked on that again yesterday, and the guys know what the expectations are in terms of doing that this weekend.
You mentioned the goaltending and pulling netminders, back-to-back nights certainly isn't a common occurrence. But Tyler Bunz gets called up after the game on Saturday, goes up to Oklahoma City. From all accounts, he's not going to be in Alaska here this weekend, so you just have Paul Karpowicz. Is it easier for a goalie's mindset to know, hey, I can go into this game a little bit, not relaxed, but knowing that this is my game to win?
It's mine.
Yeah, certainly Carpo knows that he's going to have to play 3 games in 2.5 days, and it's his chance to run with it a little bit. I thought his start in Ontario was okay. I didn't think we gave up a lot in Ontario. I mean, we seemed to chase the puck for a lot of the game, but at the same time, we played very well defensively and limited them to like 12, 13 grade A scoring chances. And as a coach, you want 8 to 12. If you give up 8 to 12 grade A's over the course of a 60-minute hockey game, you're playing well defensively, and I think we gave up 14 in Ontario to arguably the best team in the conference. So that was good. But then we come back Sunday and or Saturday night against Florida. I thought we had an unbelievable 10 minutes, maybe 10 of the best minutes we played all year. And 5 minutes later we're down 3-0. So we need some key saves, and both guys know it. I mean, we're not criticizing. The power play needs to be better. The PK. I mean, there's areas. Some of our high end guys have got numbers of games in the AHL. Our first line's got 700 games at the AHL combined. We need more from those guys as well. So it's just we need certain parts of the team to be better. And join some of these younger guys, like the Shabers that are impressive, and Hughes has been impressive, and the Steffes line, these guys, and we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
The hockey aside, this could be a good time for this road trip as well. Get the guys out of town, stick them in a hotel for a couple of nights, and let them just kind of get together and get that chemistry back that you were talking about.
Yeah, and the guys have talked about that. They think it's a good time to leave and get out of town together, and I hope they're right. It's always good when you only have one or two returning players for guys to get together on the road and have some meals and have some laughs and come together a little bit more and get some points on the board here.
And I have to be better broadcast. I mean, we got to get better in the broadcast booth. There has to be more accountability.
You more than me, I think.
Yeah, I got to work on that this weekend.
Well, when you get off to an 0-3-1 start, there's always good parts of the game, and you want to stay positive, and we are. But obviously, we all can be better in every area. You include Holty. I mean, myself as well.
It's accountability across the board.
There we go.
It's got to be there.
Coach, we appreciate the time.
Anytime,
Thanks
guys.
for coming on. Coach's Corner here on Condors Unleashed at the Fox Sports Radio's 970. Also at the Dignity Health Studios, Bakersfield, California.
What was that you were just saying?
I don't know.
You had to get better?
I got myself in my own head with I got to get better at broadcasting. Anyways, we're in episode 3. Gary Steffes is our player guest in our next segment coming up here from the Dignity Health Studios at the Bakersfield, California. This is Condors Unleashed.